দর্শক, পাকিস্তানে ভয়াবহ আকার নিয়েছে বন্যা পরিস্থিতি। এ নিয়ে আরও জানাতে আমাদের সাথে যুক্ত হচ্ছেন দেশটির আন্তর্জাতিক রাজনীতি বিশেষজ্ঞ আয়েশা গাজী। মিস আয়েশা গাজী, ওয়েলকাম টু ওয়ার্ল্ড নিউজ টুডে on Channel 24. Flash flood have killed more than 300 people in recent days. What's the current situation? Why Pakistan is so vulnerable to deadly flooding?
300 is the number that we have come to know so far, but the death toll is certainly much more than 300 because rescue workers are still working and they are still looking for the dead bodies. Especially in, the flooding has been done due to cloudburst. The flooding has been done in more than one areas. In Bonaire, in Bajor, in Swat, in some parts of Indian-occupied Kashmir. So from there onwards, all parts, there are many parts that have been flooded. And that is because of the flooding, the infrastructure has been destroyed, completely destroyed. That is making the rescue process very difficult. And then the bodies, the whole, in some places like in Bonaire, the whole villages have been wiped out. So it is very difficult to say what is the death toll because many dead bodies have yet to be found. And many are unfound, to be honest. In this sort of calamity, it is impossible to find everybody that has been missed. There are families that have lost most of their family members because in these areas the whole families live together. That is the kind of culture it is. So the situation in there is very devastating at the moment. The mosques are, I'll just give you one example of the devastation, that some mosques are making announcements there. As you know, the mass burials are happening, mass funerals are happening, that they have shortage of manpower. They are asking from other villages for the men to come over and participate in the last rites of people, and they are appealing for women from other villages to come over and take responsibility of women's dead bodies for last rites, preparing them for last rites. So this is the kind of devastation that area is going through. And it is how it is happening, why Pakistan is so vulnerable. It is not just Pakistan that is vulnerable. We need to remember that we are going through climate change, and that is a fact. For a long time, we had been denying it, or we had not been taking it serious for a long time. But the people who had been working in climate and climate change and global warming, they had been warning that the monsoon pattern will be changing very soon. And what we are seeing in Pakistan right now, it's a very different monsoon pattern. It's a hyper monsoon, I would say. It comes much earlier than it is supposed to come. And all this started happening from industrial revolution in European countries and in Western countries from 1850s. Every decade had been much more warmer than the previous decade. So we knew what's going to happen. The people who studied this, they knew it is going to happen, and they had been warning that the monsoon is going to be very hyper, and the whole pattern is going to change. And this is what is happening, not just in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in India, in all that belt, we are seeing that sort of very hyper and intensive monsoons. And then in addition to that, this is something, as I'm talking about the cloudburst sort of situation, it is something that is very hard to predict earlier. So it is very hard to give the warnings to the people to look for how they can survive and how they can save or how they can leave the area. So it is very difficult to predict earlier. Adding to that is the house belts that have been built around the river and near the water stream areas, and the very wrong, I would say, planning of the infrastructure, because some areas that were prohibited for construction, they had been given allowance for the buildings to be built there, and that has added to the devastation in the area. And then deforestation. There are so many multiplying factors in this, but this is something that we all need to worry about and sit down together. Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, all these belts, we need to sit
Miss
together
Aisha,
and
thank you so much. Thanks for joining.